Hello, ladies and
It
gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here.
Barely.
Oh, barely. What do you mean, barely?
I'm
Peggy's been a little bit
happy
under the weather lately.
How's that knee doing?
It's a lot better, yeah. It's a lot better. I have a wonderful therapist. He tries to kill me 3 times a week.
3 times a week. If
Yeah.
y'all don't know,
It's working.
Peggy had a real bad case of the nasals,
Measles.
and she's getting over it with good medical care.
Yeah, and we must be coming a long way because today I didn't help her onto the stage, did
No, I
you?
walked
No,
out.
She got
I
up on the
stuck
stage
my
right there.
hand out. She just knocked it
yeah,
aside.
yeah.
I'll take care of this.
That had to be a.
It's all a challenge.
Peggy is a very independent woman, and I know that it's
Oh.
been a real struggle
Really?
It has.
the last few
You
weeks.
think?
When you want to run and you have to walk.
Yeah.
But it's coming along, honestly.
It is coming along.
Coming
It
along.
is coming along, very much so. All kinds of neat things going. Oh, I went to, and speaking of that, we have some lovely ladies out in the audience today that are here from the Manchester Arts Center that are going to be talking about, that's a performance center.
Yeah.
And at one point there was a lot more art in it than there is now, and they're here to promote the art side of the Manchester Arts Center.
Oh, great.
And I
Visual
tried
arts,
the visual
yeah.
arts side. And with that said, I went to see My Fair Lady after we had Joel and Samantha on the
Samantha
show.
on, yeah.
Of course, I loved Samantha for years and years. What a talented, lovely young lady she is. And it couldn't have been any better on Broadway as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
They did an
They have an
outstanding
incredible
job.
audience, and Joel is a master in what he does.
And if you didn't get to see it, there's another performance this
Yeah, it's
weekend.
this coming
Yeah, I'm
weekend.
going
It's coming
Sunday,
weekend,
and it's
so-
the Sunday performance is 2
Two,
p.m.
yes.
And the Friday, Saturday is 7:30.
I think
so. But anyway, it's a
Get
wonderful
over there about
production,
6:45 at least. It might be 7 o'clock. I'll look at I've got a playbill on the front door, so before
Look
this
at the
show's over,
artwork and-
I'll look and find out to be sure. But they did an outstanding job, and Samantha's she's just wonderful.
She is,
She is
a
just
very
absolutely
incredible young lady.
wonderful. You would think that she was born on an alley in downtown
New York City.
wherever they were they not in London?
Oh,
London, I think, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they were in
You know,
London.
she's Cockney. She had that Cockney accent, and she's got the biggest, most beautiful, brightest eyes. And she'd just roll those eyes, and she'd sit there with her legs wide open, and with her legs like this, and her dress down. And of course, they all wore pantaloons back in those days. They wore, long stuff, and she'd just sit like that and roll those eyes and go, "Ow!" in her mouth, and she was just incredible.
And
I
she
can't say
becomes a
enough
beautiful
about her.
lady in the
Oh
show.
yes. And the costuming is out. Her costuming's outstanding.
Did I hear you interviewed them last week?
I did.
Did I hear them say they made a lot of that stuff themselves, or made some of that stuff?
They do. They make
Yeah.
a lot of it, and
Right.
sometimes they rent some of it. It just depends on.
Well, Samantha also has a company where she does princesses and fairies and all of that kind of stuff. She does
Pirates.
They have the Frozen queens, and they have Peter Pan, and
Didn't they sell that company? I think they.
I don't know whether they sold it or
Recently,
not,
but you know, they have for years.
I don't think so, because I'm still running an ad for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that they won an ad from us at one of the things at the MAC
Yeah.
for they're doing. I think they're doing a Frozen thing again this Christmas.
Probably. Excuse me.
And if they saw, she's still involved with that. But I say all of that because they're in the costume making business
She is,
because of that stuff.
Right.
Instead of renting that stuff, you can make it one time and pay the same amount, probably is what it costs to rent it for a weekend, and then you own it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, oh heavens,
They are
yes.
very
And Frank Wonder was
creative.
in that show,
Frank is always good.
and he's outstanding. So that's enough about that.
Robert Howard is in it.
Robert-
He's from Tullahoma.
And I didn't even recognize Robert. He was so well, and he was the Daddy Doolittle. He was drunk. He was drunk. Who who got all ended up with all
in the
kinds of
morning.
money.
Yeah.
Ended up with all kinds of money, and there was transformation taking place all over the stage.
John, Philip had some video last week, and we neglected to play it because we didn't know much about it. We don't know much about it this week, but one of our viewers, I believe.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. This sent us this video, if I remember correctly, and that is of the old Tullahoma Speedway. And a lot of people don't remember that we ever had a speedway in Tullahoma.
That?
It was I was there a time or two, and it was on the New Winchester Highway. If you're going toward Winchester, it's off to the right. There used to be a little gas station out there.
Phone-Eye.
Yeah, right.
And that's where James
Martin.
James Martin had his house back
And
there.
James owned this track, and it was kind of unique because in those days. And if I get any of this wrong, and you know actually the details about this, please call us or let us know about this. But this track was really unique because most of the small tracks in smaller cities in those days was dirt tracks.
Right.
And but James was a paving contractor,
So he paved it?
So this track was actually
State of Tennessee paved that track.
yeah, so
That was a real deal.
Yeah, so this track was paved, and that really made it nice, and it was a big deal. There were a lot of, I guess you could say, superstars that you might not ever know if you weren't involved in this, and they played a lot of they went to a lot of small tracks all across the state of Tennessee and Alabama, and
probably.
Yeah, and they were really popular, had a lot of fans and that sort of thing. And this film, I think, believe Philip said it was done in the 1975.
Yeah.
And I noticed one of the cars going by there a moment ago was a 55 Chevy, and that would have been a 20-year-old car because a lot of them they just get beat all to pieces out there on a short track like that. Bristol is a NASCAR track, and it's pretty short.
Right.
And but it's a tough track to run, and there's a good chance you'll get your equipment
hurt. Or your car will get hurt anyway.
Right.
You ever had
but this reminds me about. It wouldn't surprise me to see this again, because what goes around comes around, and now there are people back doing roller derby again.
Yeah.
You remember roller derby back when
yeah.
we were years ago? Well, now there's people doing roller derby again, and also this reminds me of, like you're talking about the drivers going from town to town.
Yeah.
Live studio wrestling that used to be in Nashville. Mm-hmm. At the Maxwell House, and Nick Goulas and Roy Welch had lives at the Hippodrome Theater. Mm-hmm. And that would come out to the Armory in Tullahoma and Tojo Yamamoto and the Fargo brothers. Well, then when Jacob, my son, was in high school 18 years ago, that's when Hulk Hogan and The Rock and all of those guys, wrestling came into a big deal.
Did they come around here?
No.
Okay.
It was so big that once a month it took the place of Saturday Night Live.
Wow.
For wrestling, and they would have these big wrestling things in Atlanta and New York and big cities. And now wrestling, there's a difference between wrestling with a W and wrestling. This is wrestling we're talking about, is coming back up to the top. It's on being advertised.
Right.
Yeah. There's a new group that have kicked it off, and they're starting to. So you never can know. We might see that dirt track racing come back.
Well, racing is probably bigger today than it was then. Although in '75 NASCAR was coming onto the scene big time. So you're talking about wrestling though. If I remember correctly, the wrestling that was on when I was a kid, there was a lot of theater involved in that.
There's always theater
that wasn't a real
involved in
thing, but it was honestly amazing. if you're watching it, you
It looks real, doesn't it?
It looks real, and you could just hate old John over there because he was the bad guy, and you hated, but he seemed to win all the time, and you
Yeah.
just hated it because.
And then they all went out and ate steaks and drank beer after the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, there was a movie out not too long ago with one of the who were those brothers
I don't know.
that have done so much?
In wrestling.
No, in the movies.
Oh.
Brothers.
Oh, and he played the last thing he did was True Grit.
Oh.
But he played a wrestler.
Yeah.
He was in a movie, and no, that was Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Was in a movie about wrestling several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I had the brothers wrong, and it showed how all that stuff, and he got to where the doctor wouldn't let him do that, and he went to a grocery store, and I mean, these people, that's all they knew how to do
Yeah.
Yeah.
is wrestle, and they would shoot each other in the head with staple guns.
Oh, good grief.
And you know, they got in a fight in the dressing room one night after the thing because the guy, instead of using the little short staples, had used all he could find was some long ones. Well, those hurt. I mean, the short ones hurt, but they don't go in very
Ow,
far.
good grief.
And you know, it showed how they did all that stuff, and they were all partners. It was a traveling
Right.
a circus-like thing, and they all went in the same cars to the next town
Right.
and put their show on.
Right.
So, and I'm sure a lot of that racing was that way as well.
Oh,
People
we
come to
have
see an
wrestling
accident.
In the high school, don't we?
They loved
We still have
accidents, and they used to
wrestling in
have-
high school.
Oh yeah,
That-
we have an
good-
exceptional
we have
wrestling.
good
That
Yeah,
is
that's
wrestling.
That's really real. That's
Yeah.
real.
They do
that's
the real
stuff.
thing.
Oh yeah.
They had a lot of wrecks at that Tullahoma Speedway, old Tullahoma Speedway,
Uh-huh.
and I remember as a young man, I was 18 or 19, I guess, and thinking, "There's no way these guys can survive this wreck." You know, some guy ran. You know, the track is banked.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it may still be there. They don't. Somebody else owns it now, and you can't go in there. But I mean, you know, the guy goes airborne because he loses control on one side of the track, and he goes airborne, and his car kind of turns over in the air, and I think the guy's got to be dead.
Gotta be,
But
yeah.
He walked away
and he
from
walks
that.
away. I know,
He
it's
walks away
amazing.
From that, you know, unbelievable.
You know, I'm going to get on my stump. I know our time's out, but I get on a stump every now and
You
then,
gonna read
every
your-
week.
You gonna read your
I'm going to read
local?
something. This is the time of year to be thankful. It upsets me, as it does every year, that we go from Halloween to Christmas and Thanksgiving sort of gets pushed to the side.
I'm thankful.
Marketing-wise, nationally, not locally and not in your home and my home. But you know, you can't go in the stores and find the Thanksgiving things that you used to be able to find if you wanted to have a little deal and you wanted a napkin with some turkeys on it or something, you know, paper napkin. That stuff pretty much disappeared. But the one thing that doesn't disappear during this time of the season is visiting with families, your family and your friends, and being around your loved ones. This is Loku number 55. I'm at 345 right now, so this is
So you wrote
a
this
long
some
time ago. This is 11/5/16. No amount of time passed is too long. The roller coaster of life matters not. The biggest screw up in the world is not bad enough to dim the light that shines between old friends.
That's nice.
Oh yeah.
That's really nice.
You know, and
That's
it's
beautiful.
like you can always. They say you can't go home again. Yeah, you can. All you got to do is show up, and I'll guarantee
You can go
you'll
home
be
again.
loved
Yeah.
and cared for. You might have screwed up terrible, but you still get to sit
There's
at the
always
table
a
and eat
story of
some
the
eat some
prodigal
dressing.
son. You
You
can
know,
go home.
the dressing's gonna be hot. It's gonna have great turkey gravy on it. Cranberries will be there. It's all gonna be there for you. So go home and be blessed that way. We'll be right back after these messages.
Clayton has been Tullahoma's family shoe store for over 100 years with a reputation for fashion and personal service. And the tradition continues today. Stop by Clayton and see our large selection of fine shoes.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman, and this is
Pat Welch, and we're at segment number 8 of
Yes.
Conversations with John and Pat.
Well, we're trying to keep up with those sessions best we can. They're just flying by, aren't they, Pat?
They're flying by, and our lack of memory, John, will probably,
Yeah.
it won't be the length of the programs, it'll be the shortness of memory before we lose out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And perhaps I can get through this song without forgetting the words. You know, that's a little bit embarrassing when I know it's going out to hundreds, thousands, whatever the number might
And
be.
think of the people looking at it on Facebook.
And Facebook, I know. I hope some people, they don't look the segments up when I did miss the words, but there are other good content there. There's other good content.
Correct. Yeah, I think
your stories.
I think we and
I enjoy
you
your stories,
we
Pat.
adapted well.
This is about riding the school bus at Chapel Hill. This is called Old P-31. I remember long ago having so much fun, riding back and forth to school on Old P-31. That great big yellow school bus was so much fun back then. If I could, I know that I would do it all again. Doc Harris was our driver, the world's most patient man. He never raised his voice at us, and I couldn't understand. Spitballs and screaming young'uns, fistfights and pulling hair. Doc kept right on driving like we weren't even there. Like a dust storm in the distance, like a mini hurricane. You could hear P-31 a-coming down those country lanes. That old bus would rock from side to side while Doc would make his run, and we'd be hanging out the windows on old P-31. It was back on old P-31 that I learned to cuss a street. Gene Walls was my instructor, and I really caught on quick. I recall those backseat smoochers, Betty Lou and Jim. Always wished that he was me, and I wished that I was him. Like a dust storm in the distance, like a mini hurricane. You could hear P-31 a-coming down those country lanes. That old bus would rock from side to side while Doc would make his run, and we'd be hanging out the windows on old P-31. Then one day Doc stopped at school like he'd done 1,000 times. What I saw walking to the front made me think that I'd been blind. The secret of Doc's patience caused looking very near. I could see a wad of cotton stuffed down both his ears. Like a dust storm in the distance, like a mini hurricane. You could hear P-31 a-coming down those country lanes. That old bus would rock from side to side while Doc would make his run, and we'd be hanging out the windows on old P-31. We'd be hanging out the windows on old P-31. old P-31, Pat.
Well, that's not.
You
was
didn't
that
ride
not
the school
magnificent?
bus, I don't think, because you were a Tullahoma young man.
We still do not provide transportation.
Yeah.
And,
I want Philip, by the way, to pull up that picture of the old bus drivers.
Which one is Doc?
Doc
John?
Harris is second to the right.
Okay.
Harding Chapman's on the left, Mr. Hugh Harris, Jack Palmore, Doc Harris, Jack Sherfield. Now those guys, you know, they drove the bus. I'm sure they're bus drivers just like they were. Back then, about most of everybody smoked, you know, and I can remember, you know, more than Mr. Jack Sherfield, for instance, he would smoke a cigar. And one day I mentioned
While
to him
they were
about,
driving?
Yeah, and he was. I've said something. I was just a kid, and being cute. I said something about his stinking good cigar, and he stopped the bus. He said, "Well, you can get off if you want to." You know,
It smelled good then, didn't it, John?
it smelled all right. Jack, I was just kidding. You know, I tried to get on good terms with him from then on. I knew he didn't. I knew it meant business.
Well, you know, I was kind of grasping. I knew you were going to get the gig in that Tullahoma doesn't have school buses, but we do have school buses for athletic events and
Yeah.
extracurriculars and so forth. And my senior year in high school, which had been in football season, it'd be 1971, the fall of '71, our bus driver was Mr. Dameron. And he lived.
Norman Dameron.
Norman Dameron lived on where
Road.
Avoca Road and Riley Creek start that Y
Or you
there.
can't fill in the blanks, Pat. I can.
You're doing great. Yeah. Hopefully you won't know this story. But when we came back from every football trip for the first part of the year on, it was a really tight curb, and you couldn't hardly get a bus around it without catching the back tires on one side on that curb, and that thing go boom, bam, and everybody sitting in the back, of course, just absolutely rattled their teeth out. The last home game, we had won it, and everybody was feeling great, and nobody said a word. Nobody was putting pressure on him or kidding him, but it got really quiet as the last chance of the year to miss that curb. And there, again, you couldn't get it in there, but about maybe a quarter inch or half inch to spare, and he made it. And the team gave him a stand ovation, and Mr. Dameron was really pleased with himself.
Mr. Dameron, he's a good
He was a great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
And, but Mr. Hugh Harris, he's one of those guys in that picture. I would occasionally, he was friends with my parents and our family, and occasionally I would ride the rest of the way to his house and stay all night with him, and I had a good time. And he'd give me a pocket watch every so often. He
Wow.
used a pocket watch, and there wasn't real collectible or anything like that. But you know, he was a good old man, and he loved me, and I loved him. Sat in church with him many times, you know, because he was just a great old guy. But I remember I felt sort of bad about it, but I was too greedy. I remember selling his pocket watch several times on the campus, you know, after he'd given it to me. It's a childhood memory I'd rather forget now. Oh, man.
John, you reckon they rode school buses back on football trips in 1932?
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, that's one of the earlier segments we mentioned that I had gotten graciously received from the Allen family, a whole lot of Tommy Allen's football research and memories and so forth, and somebody gave him a really small tablet that was full of reports from the Nashville Banner, Chattanooga Times, Chattanooga News, the Tennessean, and of course Tullahoma Guardian, and it's going through here, and you know, the press, they really
fast, Pat. 'Cause
Okay,
I
we're getting
think we're
close.
getting out of time.
Okay, well, this will be a great way to end it with a little controversy. It's incredible how the media attacks one another about being homers.
Yeah.
You know, but I think if you're employed by University of Tennessee to broadcast their games, you ought to be for UT, and the same way for Alabama and MTSU and so on and so forth. But it was a lot worse back in the 30s and 20s and so forth. And Tullahoma got beat 7-0 in 1932. And this is from the Tullahoma Guardian concerning that game. Headlines: Fayetteville takes game from THS. And as you listen, you'll see that they've got a double meaning for that take. Fayetteville High took the game from Tullahoma High last Friday with the accent on the took. According to the scoreboard, the score was 7-0. According to spectators, the deal handed out to THS by Fayetteville officials was one of the rottenest ever witnessed in an assemblage of football fans.
We're still mad about it. Go ahead.
That's what it sounds like. If the accusations are true, the relations between the two schools should be severed by the officials of Tullahoma High. The game teamed with unfair decisions and unjust penalties. It's the first time the Tullahoma player has been cursed by an official from the opposing team. Tullahoma showed improved tackling and blocking over their work in other games this season and outplayed the Lincoln Countyites throughout the game, but off-color decisions beat them out of the game. Now that, John, is what you call a real homer from the press.
Well, we're done
And
today.
that probably wraps us up.
That was a great story. I love that sort of stuff. I like controversy.
Yeah. As long as we're not in the middle of it. John and I watch controversy a lot better than we participate in.
That's right.
And that is the end of the conversations today. And number 8 is down in the history books. It's not over, sports fans, unless management says it is.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out the 2019 fully loaded V6 Kia Sorento, up to $6,400 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Always something exciting happening at the Manchester Art Center, and today I am privileged to have on the set 2 visual artists. I have Linda and Tammy. Patty. I never can remember, so I have to have signs. Patty Holt, right? Holt. Okay. Anyway, you guys are here to talk about the artwork at the Art Center, at the Performing Arts Center in Manchester. And so let's talk about these paintings here first.
Okay. The charcoals, these are the ones that got everything started up again. Apparently, at one time they had a visual arts Chicago was a performing play at the time, so I contacted them and asked them if they would like some art to go with it. So that's what started it, and then we just kind of
Grew from there.
Just
decided that it was a nice place to have art exhibited. Correct.
Right, because it was an art center, so that kind of.
So you're in charge.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
You're the curator, and people kind of go through you if they want to come and show some of their work.
Yes.
Do you welcome all artists?
Yes, yes. We have a community gallery. We have one section that's just assigned for a solo artist, and that would be for someone who's doing something for the play that's happening at the time.
Right.
We're going to have summer classes for the kids this summer.
That's a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah, it's
do you
going
want
to
to
be
tell how
a lot of
much it will
fun.
cost?
Well, we're not sure right now. That's still in the works. Homeschooling, we're working with them now to just maybe start next semester with them. But December 1st will be our first student exhibit, which will be high school kids, Coffee County, and homeschool kids, high school
Will be
age.
showing their artwork.
Yep.
Is there a production
No.
going on at that time,
No.
or is just going to be an art exhibit?
Right, 2 to 4. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's kind of be a little reception there.
Great.
We're going to have 5 awards. One will be Best of Show, and the second one will be Director's Choice. The third will be People's Choice, and then the second and third place from that. So there'll be 5 altogether.
So there'll be 5 winners, so to speak, and do they get a prize or a ribbon or something of that nature?
What we're planning to do is exhibit them in local businesses.
Good. That's
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
Did you personally do any of these?
The charcoals I did.
You did all the charcoals?
This is a photograph of one of the students that's going to be at the exhibit, and then this is a watercolor.
Okay. This is a fabulous photograph, by the way. A student did this. It's an amazing. The perspective is fantastic. I
It's
wish
really
you could
pretty.
see it better.
Yeah.
But anyway, I am so excited and for art exhibits with the students. Performing arts also with the students, encouraging them to do their best and to be noticed, because there's a lot of reasons for that. One is to keep them off the street, keep them out of drugs. There's a lot of things. If you're excited or have passion about your work, don't you think?
Right.
You can, when you're all depressed, well, go paint it out.
We're going to have an exhibit for middle school kids in January 12th. Submissions need to be in by December the 20th. We probably could take some a little later than that, but we need to know,
You'd like to
how
know
many.
about what you have.
And then elementary will be in March.
I think it's just so good to get them excited about finishing a piece or coming to exhibit. What do you have any of these?
I didn't bring any artwork with me. Mine's on display at the Mac Center right now, and I'm working on some more pieces. But I'm really excited about the summer program that we're going to do to get the kids
got to
interested in
grow.
art. There's so many
New
artists out there, and
sometimes they're just totally overlooked.
Yes,
And
and they may not
Exactly.
even know they have the talent. So we want to help them.
Yeah.
And well, when you do the classes this summer, is it all just for young people, or are you doing some older people classes? Or are you doing a little bit of everything?
Our focus is going to be on the kids. Mainly because adults can find a class somewhere,
Right.
the
They
kids
usually
can't. And this is going to be for them. Our focus is going to be on them, and there'll be a fee for supplies.
Sure.
But the instructors will be volunteer.
That's wonderful.
And we're hoping to get some high school kids to maybe help us with that.
I think you will. I think you will. We need to encourage our students to come and be leaders in something like this, and I think there's more than you realize that are willing to do that. Now, I know there's a big play going on in Manchester.
Yes. My Fair
We
Lady.
talked about it just a minute ago, and I think how wonderful, if you go early enough, you get to see all the artwork that's being exhibited up and down the hallways and in the front, I'm sure, and find out about all the different things. There's a phone number to call for tickets. are, like during the day, are you all open at certain times?
You can call the center is usually open every day.
So
there's
if
someone
you just
there.
want to drop by, they'll let you.
Yeah, you can just come
peruse
in
through
and
everything.
I'm sure that they.
So, when are you there?
I'm in and out all the time.
Can they ever peg you and lock you down?
Well, they can call me.
Yeah.
You know, and but right now I'm usually there a couple times a week at least.
Good, yeah. Well, I think that it's a wonderful thing that you're doing in Manchester to bring back these exhibits and to encourage people to use their talents in a positive way.
Yes.
And I admire both of you for your being visual artists. How long have you been doing art? Since you were born?
No, a couple of years actually.
Oh, really?
The painting and the drawing. I like to put junk together and make something else out of it.
How about
And I've
you?
been doing
When
that
did
for a
you
while.
start?
I've always enjoyed art and arts and crafts and things, but I didn't get serious about actually painting until 2 years ago. And
Painting, I would think, is a challenge in that, like you said you did acrylics, is that correct? Is that pretty easy to correct?
yes, I've learned to
Whereas
just
in
let
watercolors is a little harder. We got to go.
Yeah.
They're
We
turning
can't
us off.
watercolor.
Thank you so much. I hope you'll come
Thank
back.
you. Thank
you. It's a
you.
pleasure to meet you.
We'll be back with something else.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here and share some good old Tullahoma history with all our friends in the area. In this week, in 1863, after the Battle of Stones River in Murfreesboro, the Confederates moved to Tullahoma and Manchester and Shelbyville. Some 20,000 Confederate troops moved to Tullahoma in January of 1863, and the weather was terrible, and the troops were without food and warm clothes, and some of them lived nearby, and they'd sneak home. And General Braxton Bragg told those that left without leave would be hung as deserters on a hanging tree 1/2 mile exactly due east of the big spring. And indeed, during the course of the next 6 or 8 months, some 13 Confederate deserters and Yankee spies were hung on a tree that's on Blackwell Street in the front yard of Paul and Ann Smotherman across from Janie's floor shop there. And one ironical part about that tree was that exactly 100 years to the day that the last spy was hung on that tree, lightning struck that tree and totally destroyed it. And it's become quite a historic spot on that particular location. And occasionally somebody from up north will come down and say, my uncle or my great-grandfather was a spy for the Yankees, and he was hung on the hanging tree, and we'd like to know where it was. And so we'd take them there and show them, and it was a very historical point on that street and that occasion. There are other historical markers and places in and around this area, but they've mostly been bulldozed or leveled for housing. But there are a lot of fortifications all the way around Tullahoma, because Tullahoma was a great spot and an important spot during that campaign because of the railroad coming through Tullahoma. And we hope you'll read some history and understand some of the significance of some of our great landmarks here in Tullahoma.
Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maiden. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterwear.
Yes, Roosterwear is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterwear specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterwear.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and excuse me. Around this time of year, there's so much stuff going on. There's an open house here and an open house there, but there's also a tour of homes that goes on this time of year.
Absolutely.
And these lovely ladies are here with us today to talk about the tour of homes. Reba, Emma, and Rupa, and
Jack.
And Reba, Emma, Rupa, and Jack are here today to talk about the tour of homes, and that's for Trinity Care Center, right?
Tullahoma Daycare
Tullahoma Daycare, I'm sorry.
Tullahoma Daycare.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
Tullahoma Daycare.
Right. Yes.
But it's behind Trinity.
That's
isn't it?
correct.
That's why I get that. For some reason, I think there's a connection there.
Right. This is an annual event,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's put on by the board of the Tullahoma Daycare Center.
Right.
And it's our major fundraiser for the year. And not only is it a fundraiser for a great cause, but it's a really fun event. And that's what we want to really tell you about today, what you can expect to see, and just encourage you to come out and have a great time, because it's a wonderful event.
How many houses are on the tour this time?
There are 4 houses and the Tullahoma Arts Center.
Oh, wonderful.
So Rupa can speak to that a little bit about the Arts Center, because we'd like to talk about what we're doing there.
Well, we can go first right there. Over to tell us about it, Jack. Jack's
I don't
not
have words
talking.
yet. I don't have words yet. No, so we're actually the Tullahoma Arts Center is actually going to be the place where we do the silent auction and kind of the finale of the tour. You can go there first, though, if you want. But silent auction will be happening there, and they've been partnering with us in other ways for the past few years. We typically give our homeowners gifts. And we work with them to secure artists.
Oh, wonderful.
And they do such a good job. They do such a fantastic job. This year, our artists are Dennis Langford, Georgine Hertwig, Julie Cotton, and of course Jim House. He does it every year. So we're excited to have them, and we're so thankful.
So they
for
get
them.
an original piece of artwork
And
for their
home, typically, yeah.
Oh, of their home, typically.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, and we my home was on the tour a few years back, and Pat Hitchcock's did mine, and it's just beautiful. We are so thankful for it. My family and I are. So, yeah, they do great work, and it's original art by a local artist.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Getting better than that. And I think Michael Bush
has done them before too.
Is doing well. He's showing at the Art Center right now as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether he'll still be there.
I think he'll be something else at that point.
Something at that point. Well,
I think he's
anyway,
November.
go by and see Michael Bush's thing at the Art Center right now. And we have some photos ready.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at the photos and y'all can discuss those.
Yes.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Yes, this is the Dayton home. It's on Lakewood Drive. And this home is on Lake Tullahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And they bought this about a year ago, and it was built in 1958. They totally redid the inside and just started over, essentially. Right. It has beautiful views of the lake. It's beautifully decorated in their particular style, and it's just a lovely home to be in. It's very comfortable, and you'll just love walking through it and seeing what's been done to it.
Yeah, those homes that were, I remember when all that was built out there, and those homes were very, very nice homes at the time. They're still very nice homes.
Right.
Of course, what was a big home back then is not a big home now. It's there's a lot, homes have gotten expanded a lot, but a lot of these homes were very well thought out architecturally.
Right.
When they were done the first time.
Right. Well, this home, the Dennis home on Lakewood, on Country Club Drive, is another example of a house that has been totally redone. It was built in 1962, I believe, and it's been totally redone in the entire inside. And it's another example of great use of space and how houses were built differently in that time. So you can take the same amount of space and make it look entirely different and make it functionally very different.
I love that.
This is the McNabb House, and many people in Tullahoma know this house. It's on the corner of Hogan and Atlantic Streets.
We call it the Toma House because back when we were kids, the Tomas were of ownership of that
That's
home.
right. That's right. It was built in 1900, and it's had several owners, even in the last 25 years.
Right.
But it still has a lot of the original character, and a lot has been preserved in the house. You'll see a lot of interesting ways that they did the wall covering, the wall, and then some of the original bathroom pieces are there.
Yeah, a lot of those old fixtures are incredible, and people are trying to search them out. So when you know, out of demo work, and so when you find a home that they're really in there, and have been there for years, that's a big plus.
Right. And this area where they've redone a little bit as well. This is Leslie Wurst house. It's on Lake Hills Drive. I'm sorry. All these lakes getting me mixed up.
Overlooks Avoca Lake.
Overlooks Avoca Lake. This is another house that has a really interesting history, which if you read the article about the tour in the paper Sunday, there's a lot of that is written in the newspaper article. You can check that out, and we'll have it in our booklet as well. But this house has been owned by several people also, redone a couple of times, and Leslie and her husband Doug redid the entire inside, mostly themselves. It's really incredible what they were able to accomplish with that house. It has beautiful pieces in it of furniture, antiques, and things that have been brought from other places.
You look at that home right there, and you wonder why everybody is moving into Middle America, into Tennessee and Kentucky, and our area has become so popular. That's just like you're in a mountain retreat right there.
It really is.
Absolutely
it really
gorgeous.
Is. Absolutely.
And one of the good things about this tour, folks, is these are homes that have been here. They're stately homes. They're not new stuff where you go see what's happening in new construction. You're seeing how cool it can be to take something that's old and repurpose it and redo it to suit you, and how much character these homes have, and to save an older structure like that. And we're fortunate in Tullahoma to have the type of people who come through here and work at Arnold Center and the Space Institute. As a home builder, it was really hard sometimes to sell new product because the old product is so well cared for in our community.
Right. One of the interesting things this year's two of the houses, the Dennises and the McNabbs, are newcomers to Tullahoma. Mm-hmm. And they both have just fallen in love with being here. They love their new friends they've made. They love their homes and what they've done with them, and they're just eager to share. So we like that. It's showing that new people are coming here, interested in the town, and we're just happy that they were so generous with their homes.
Well, we need to get Emma to say something here. You're just sitting over.
Hello,
I'm over here. Take all the time you want, baby. What you got?
Well, I'm thankful for the board for what they do for Tullahoma Daycare Center. We do give service to children ages 2 to 5. We're open from 6:30 to 5 o'clock. And I'm just glad to be here today.
Well, what the service that you have is a wonderful thing that you do. And you have worked there for
almost 40 years.
Almost 40 years, and numerous positions there. Now
I'm the director.
You're the master of the ship.
Absolutely.
How much fun is that?
Absolutely.
Well,
he's our captain.
I enjoy it.
I know you do.
I love the children. Have a good staff that has been there almost as long as I have. So we just enjoy what we're doing, and we just invite anyone to come out anytime to come and read. You can come and sing.
Tell a story. Could I come in there and tell a story?
You sure can.
Do I need to make an appointment?
No, you don't.
To do
when
that?
You come through the door, we'll just stop what we're doing.
Expect me.
I sure will. I sure will.
I love nothing better than telling stories to children.
And you'll have a captive
or
audience.
Adults, either one. That makes no difference. That's one of the favorite things I have to do is I love going to the schools and talking to the kids.
We would love to have you.
Well, I'll be there.
All right.
Count on it. Okay?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
All right. So people get tickets where?
Yes. Okay. There are tickets in many businesses around town. I don't have the entire list in front of me, but they were listed in the newspaper on Sunday, and they are on our website under the events tab.
Okay.
You can see all the places where they're for sale. They are available on the day of the event at the houses, but we prefer really if you would come to the Art Center and buy your ticket there and get started there.
That's what we need to know. And the date again is?
It's December 8th.
Okay.
And the auction opens at 12:30 and goes to 5:30, and the tour is from 1 to 5.
Okay, and the auction's at the Art Center.
Right.
Thank y'all so much for coming.
Thank you.
And we just appreciate what you do. Thank you for being involved.
Well, we love what we're doing.
And thank you for the work
we
you've
love the
done
cause.
for 40 years. We appreciate you, dear.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Thank you, John.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this last Friday evening was the, I believe I'm right there, I think so I am, was the Young Artist Showcase at South Jackson Civic Center. And my neighbor, my little friend, who I've loved ever since she was that big, Miss Chloe Fuller was one of the people who was involved in that. And we have a little video of Chloe and her alto sax.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford F-150 as low as $34,739. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I am pleased to be on the set today with Tennessee Teddy. Some of you may know him as Ted Fugate, but we are going by the stage name Tennessee Teddy.
Yeah.
And I hear that recently, while I was in the hospital, you kind of got knocked out,
Yeah.
and it was pretty drastic.
Oh, it was. And I have a lot of people to thank for that. First, I want to thank the Lord, the good Lord. But what happened was I was in Walmart, and I'd been having a condition that was gonna kill me if I didn't get something done about it, and I didn't go to a doctor. And
You just kept putting it off, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I said, well, I wasn't ready for somebody to experiment on me. I didn't know how to explain it. Anyway, God he knew I wasn't going to a doctor. He had to have an intervention. And he planned this where it was just the greatest thing, because there was trained people ready when I fell out dead. I fell out dead at Walmart, and a lady, Nakia Campbell, she teaches CPR. She
Just happened to be there?
Yeah, she was right there.
That's
And
amazing.
she sprung into action starting, and there was a lady, Chelsea Lyles, was an off-duty EMT. She got a notification, she came, and then they called the ambulance, and they was all working on me, and then Jamie Syrie, Caroline Stokes, Clint Teeters, and Paul McCowan, they was part of the group that came with the ambulance. And they done their thing. They done what they go out every day.
They loaded you up and flew you.
Yeah, they
airlifted
did.
you to
Nashville.
Which hospital were
Yeah,
you?
it was St. Thomas in West End, and I got a defibrillator, and it was just a miracle from God. And
So these wonderful people helped save your life.
Yes, I've got new friends.
That is wonderful. Well, shall we switch to, you've got a CD out, I know, and it's
Yeah.
called Blessed?
Well, Christmas Blessings.
Christmas Blessings.
And there's several hundred in circulation now, but we're coming into the Christmas season pretty soon. I just wanted to raise awareness so that people can this can become available to them, because it's 12 Christmas songs, America the Beautiful, and 2 gospel songs that I've written, and have two places in Tullahoma that's going to handle selling for me, and I'm going to give a number where if somebody can't make it there, we can make arrangements to get it.
Well, let's mention that if you want to buy one of his CDs, you go to Tolliver's Jewelry and Loan, which is on West Lincoln Street, right across from
Dollar
General, and KK's Music on South Jackson Street.
Yes, they're
Both
great.
of those businesses have been kind enough to hold on to the CD, and the CDs, I believe, are $14.
$14, yeah.
And a great time to buy a Christmas CD for people that love great Christmas music.
Yeah, and I know you'd be blessed from it. I really believe that.
Do you want to sing one of the songs on the CD, or?
Well,
are you singing
I'm just
something
going to
else?
sing something else.
Okay.
I don't want to overdo them, but
Let's notice that there's this website, so you can get more information, and you can actually hear 3 or 6 of his songs.
there's 7 on the website, and it's just the 7 of these 15. But then you can get the whole CD for the 15 songs.
Okay, and so what is it you're going to play?
I'm going to sing an Elvis love song.
An Elvis love song. Who won't love that? Okay, take it away.
If I am a fool for loving you, then that's just what I want to be. They're saying I am just your clown, and any fool could see that you're just having fun, and you're not in love with me. The things they're saying may be true, but there's something they can't see. If I'm a fool for loving you, then that's just what I want to be. If I'm a dreamer, let me dream. If I'm your clown, I'll steal the show. If things are not the way they seem, please don't ever let me know. If I am blind, it's because I just don't want to see. If I'm a fool for loving you, then that's just what I want to be. If I'm a dreamer, let me dream. If I'm your clown, I'll steal the show. If things are not the way they seem, please don't ever let me know. If I am blind, it's because I just don't want to see. If I'm a fool for loving you, then that's just what I want to be. If I'm a fool for loving you, then that's just what I want to be.
Good job.
Thank you.
You do have a little bit of Elvis in you.
A little bit. Thank you, thank you.
That was nice. I was interested in, I know that you write songs, and do you ever have, does it matter to you if you're singing a song you wrote or if you're singing another song?
Oh, I want to sing something for some value. Sometimes people will request a song, and then I know in my heart that that's what I want to do. I want to sing that song for them, because I've learned over my lifetime, I've had people request songs to me, and they said, this song means so much to me, would you sing it for me? And it's my belief that if it's done well enough to where it satisfies their enjoyment and whatever they ask for, but they can transport to
place, yeah.
revisit the place where they felt that was, where that takes them. And to do that for somebody is really a special thing, and that's why I take my singing so very seriously.
You do take it seriously, and I think you take your inspiration for your singing seriously. What is your greatest inspiration?
Oh, well, my greatest inspiration is to know, to have learned the love of God, because that opens up the beginning of every that's the model of a perfect, good, loving relationship. Then you can have relationship with friends based on the same principles, and relationship with a lover, all the same things. And you can be a good friend and a good person.
That is a wonderful philosophy. And we've just got no time left, but I want to mention that his CDs can be picked up at Tolliver's Jewelry and Loan on West Lincoln Street and KK's Music on South Jackson Street.
And you can call that number.
If you can't get to those places.
And I'll make arrangements to get you one.
All right. Tennessee Teddy, folks.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
All right. God bless you.
We'll be back.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them, and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paint Works at 1960 North Washington Street, and you see David Ikonen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fixes you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we had a great singer up here just a minute ago doing some legendary stuff of Elvis Presley's. I've got another legend on stage with me right now, and he can shake a leg too. Our fire chief, Richard Chastain, the legend, the man.
Thank you for that great introduction.
I'm not worthy, but thank you anyway.
Oh, yes, you are worthy. Watch some of the old film from the old telethons. You'll find out what I'm talking
There's
about.
a bounty out for those right now. My wife would gladly pay to have those destroyed.
Well, give us a little. There's several things you can talk about today. One of the things is Toys for Tots.
Yes, we have a program called, and it's called the Tullahoma Fire Department Toy Drive.
Toy Drive.
Yes, and
Toys for Tots is in the past.
It's in the past. It's the Toy Drive now, and all the money and all the toys stay local. And we are in the process of collecting money now. And we'll start collecting toys after December 1st.
Okay.
We encourage people to bring money though, because we can buy more. We get a huge discount because we buy such volume.
Right.
We can buy more toys, and we can buy exactly what we need for the age group that we're short. So if
they're going to operate.
Oh yeah, well, we only give away brand new stuff. We don't give away used stuff. It's only brand new. That's all we do. And this year we're doing something different too. We're going to be collecting toys at the Christmas parade.
Oh, wonderful. What a great idea.
It's Santa's Workshop on Jackson, I think, is the theme.
Yeah, that's the theme.
Ties right in with the toy drive. So we're going to have firefighters going down both sides of the road. Anybody that wants to bring a new, unwrapped toy, we'll pick that up at the Christmas parade and probably give you a piece of candy in return.
Yeah, and the reason I would assume that you don't need to wrap it is you need to see what it is.
Right.
Number one, to make sure it's not a bomb.
It's legit.
It's legit. But you need to see what it is. You're going to have to unwrap it anyway to decide whether it goes to a girl's house or a boy's house or what.
And the
age appropriate.
Right. Yeah, that's right. And we go through every toy, every child, every age, and specifically put certain toys in there for each child. And we'll have about 500 children that we'll have to do that for.
That's absolutely outstanding.
It's a good program. It's sad that in some cases, if the fire department, if the people didn't give to this program, those kids might not get anything. There's still several of those families in town that have a tough time.
And we need to realize they're out there. They're homeless. People say, "Oh, there's no homeless people." Oh, yeah, there are. There's everything that's in every other town is in Tullahoma. Maybe not in the quantities, but they're still here, and we need to find a way to care. Love, hope, faith, and love.
The greatest is love.
The greatest of all is love.
That's it.
And my wife and I were having a discussion about her Sunday school class the other day, and she said, to be godlike, you hate what God hates and you love what God loves.
Yeah.
Not the person. You can't hate the person. But if there's a situation there where they're doing something that you hate the situation, they hate what's making them do what they do, but you still got to love the person.
That's right.
So you look at that homeless person or whatever, they're not, a lot of them aren't there by choice. Find a way to help, and that's what you're doing. And we in our town appreciate you for what you do.
And
your whole staff.
I always like to remember CB, Chief Watkins, did it for years. The program's been in place for over 40 years.
That's right.
And we're not gonna stop it. It's not an easy program to run. Our men and women do a lot of work to make it smooth. The day that we hand out the gift boxes, it just goes so smooth, but people don't understand how much background work goes into that, and planning and coordinating, and the firefighters enjoy it. That's a way they can give back to the community other than being at an emergency trying to save people's stuff. So they enjoy it.
Well, and someone that I want to give a shout out to, young lady I respect and have come to respect even more than I did before. Chief probably wouldn't be here if, for two things. One, we asked, and two, Melissa Allen. That's it. Like these wrestlers and these pros have agents and handlers. Melissa is his handler, and
she
makes
tries,
sure,
bless her heart,
that he gets where he's supposed to get.
She And she does a lot of other stuff. She's our risk management coordinator with the smoke alarm program. She'll be right in the middle of the Toys for Children that we're doing, the drive. She's busy.
And while we have a little bit more time right here, I know recently, before we had any rain at all, you know, we need to know what's going on about burning, and this time of year the leaves are falling, and what needs to happen, and give us some guidelines on how to handle that and holiday season type stuff.
Well, in a nutshell, we are allowing burning right now in Tullahoma. You have to call every day to the fire station or get online at tullahomatn.gov and look on burning permits, and it'll tell you whether you can burn or not. That's the simplest way to do it. It tells you all about the guidelines, what you have to have as far as a water source, stuff like that. So that covers that. Holidays are coming up. We have responded to a couple of space heater fires in the last few days. So we just remind everybody, check your heater, make sure it's in good shape. Do not use an extension cord or a strip to plug multiple heaters into one source. Make sure nothing's close to it. Need to keep at least 36 inches clearance around a space heater.
Right.
Okay. Smoke alarms, we just changed our clocks. So hopefully everybody changed their batteries.
Change their batteries.
And you need to test those things. If you've got any questions, call the fire department. We will be glad to come out and evaluate them for free. We have free smoke alarms that we can install for you. We've installed over 4,000 in the city limits.
That's great,
since
man.
2009.
You know, and you think about this, there's a lot of times you buy new stuff and it's not right. Just because you go buy a new pack of batteries doesn't mean both or all of those batteries are good. One of them might be a dead cell. Don't just stick them in there like Richard said. Test it to make sure that that new battery is actually a good battery.
Right. Couple of quick things about a fire. If you have a fire, close the door on your way out. Close every door you can on your way out. That confines the smoke and the fire to wherever it started. So
Cuts
that's
down
one
the
key
oxygen,
thing.
right?
Well, it keeps the smoke from spreading throughout your house or business and contaminating everything that wasn't involved, for one thing. It also eliminates oxygen coming into the fire or slows it down till we can get there and put the fire out. And the other thing is, once you go outside, stay outside. Have a meeting place outside and stay there. Do not go back in. Let our men and women go in and take care of the problem.
All right. Chief. That's why they call him the Chief. Thank you, my friend, and thank you for the years of service you've given our community.
Thank you.
First responders are my heroes. They are, in a way, I talk about it quite a bit, they have been heroes forever, but after 9/11, there's just been more attention paid. That should have been paid prior to, but now, you know, you folks are heroes.
I'll say this. Me personally, the Tullahoma community's always been good to us.
Right.
The city's been good to us. The people always are thanking us. We've been very blessed to be in Tullahoma because it's a great community.
It is a great
community. And, you know, I run into people all the time that say, thank y'all. Well, I'm like, what'd we do? Well, nothing, but you're there when we need you. We know you're there.
Right.
I mean, it just means a lot.
Saving a life, putting a defibrillator on somebody.
Yep.
You know, this fellow that was up here just a minute ago was saved by the Tullahoma Fire Department.
Oh, our fire crew.
Or was involved.
Paul McCown and Clint Teeters were the first emergency personnel there and put a defibrillator on him and got his heart back beating.
Got his heart beating.
Amen.
All
exactly.
Right. That's it.
Yep.
The Chief. We'll be right back after these messages.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're gone. Goodbye. See you next time.